At the end of the first night of the Wireless Festival, Drake was raised above the large crowd in London's Finsbury Park while Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You played and fireworks illuminated the sky. He asked the audience and festival organizers for some leniency, arguing that art follows its own schedule despite the strict curfew. Welcome to Celebrity Cookies, where the tea is always hot and the stories come with sprinkles of surprise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your take on the story. Out of nowhere, Lauryn Hill took the stage to perform the energetic Fugees' hit Ready or Not. Drake had moved down to the pit below the stage, watching Hill with admiration. He returned to the stage as she performed her powerful song X Factor, which inspired his upbeat track, Nice for What, and they sang together until the festival cut off their microphones. This year's Wireless Festival lasted 3 days and was heavily focused on Drake and his significant impact. Among the various collaborations and guest appearances showcasing his wide influence, this moment was particularly memorable. Throughout her career, Hill has been a passionate rapper and skilled singer, merging hip-hop and pop on a global scale. Along with Kanye West, now known as Ye, she represents a clear predecessor for Drake, embodying the eclectic, relevant, versatile, and transformative star he aims to be. Aside from a few dates on a shortened Australian tour earlier this year, this was Drake's first major live performance in over a year. His absence followed a tumultuous time marked by a heated rivalry with Kendrick Lamar, which included Lamar's track, Not Like Us, a song that implied Drake had a preference for younger women, becoming a pop anthem, winning a Grammy, being featured in the Super Bowl halftime show, and the subject of a lawsuit Drake filed against Universal Music Group, the parent company of both artists. For much of the last 15 years, Drake's trajectory has often reflected the direction of hip-hop and global pop music. This past year has been particularly perplexing, as his absence has left a significant void in these conversations. The fallout from his rivalry with Lamar has felt somewhat underwhelming. Their competition was largely characterized by a perceived divide, with Lamar embodying a more authentic version of hip-hop, while Drake appeared to have less claim to that authenticity. Last year, choosing sides became a prominent theme in hip-hop culture. Lamar's achievements bolstered a traditional view of hip-hop values, whereas Drake's festival performances and curated shows highlighted a more inclusive, forward-thinking approach that implicitly challenged that traditional perspective. Drake headlined each night of the Wireless Festival with a distinct theme for his setlist. One night was dedicated to R&B, another to rap, and a third to club and party music. His shows featured numerous guest appearances, with Drake frequently mentioning the calls he made to invite them, suggesting that many artists were eager to join him on stage. These guest appearances showcased various collaborations, including American rappers like 21 Savage and Sexy Red, as well as British artists such as J Hus, Skepta, He'd I One, Dave, and Central C. Drake even highlighted an emerging British talent, Fake Mink, who delivered an energetic performance of LV Sandals. Drake commented, "Nobody can out-rap London rappers." On the festival's final night, Nigerian artist Rema captivated the audience with a dynamic performance that included the mellow Calm Down and the powerful Oziba. The opening night had a sensual vibe, featuring Mario, who excelled on Let Me Love You, and Bobby Valentino, who was slightly less impressive on Slow Down. Giveon performed a minimalist 3-song set while dressed in silk and sipping wine. Bryson Tiller, one of the first R&B artists to respond to Drake's innovations in the mid-2010s, shone on Exchange. There was also an intriguing, albeit somewhat lengthy, segment where Drake shared the stage with his longtime collaborator Party Next Door, known for their ethereal sound. At times, it felt like the performances were designed specifically for Drake. Few stars at his level show as much enthusiasm for other artists, especially in hip-hop. His excitement while watching Skepta perform or helping Sexy Red with her shoes so she could dance more freely was infectious. Even when others were on stage, Drake seemed to put in extra effort. Drake spent about half of his stage time with guest performers. When he took the spotlight alone, he concentrated on high-energy performances of similar songs. On the second night, he delivered hits like Headlines, Energy, Know Yourself, and Nonstop, while the first night featured a more mellow selection with tracks such as Teenage Fever, Virginia Beach, Feel No Ways, and Passion Fruit, which he sang slightly offbeat before shifting into a smooth, laid-back vibe. He didn't heavily lean on his biggest hits. Often, just a familiar synth would send the crowd into a frenzy. The opening songs each night weren't necessarily chart toppers. Instead, they were hidden treasures for his loyal fans. The first night included Marvin's Room, a 2011 track filled with self-reflective angst. The second night showcased Idgaf, a collaboration with Yeet that captured a rage-rap energy, with Yeet joining him on stage in matching chrome hearts ponchos. On the final night, he premiered an unreleased song with British artist Central C, much to the audience's excitement. Each performance felt like a relaxed gathering in a familiar space, no formalities, just genuine connection. Drake also embraced sentimentality. At the end of each night, he climbed onto a crane-lifted platform to thank the audience while performing "I Will Always Love You," a tribute inspired by his mentor Lil Wayne. On the second night, just before this moment, pop singer Vanessa Carlton appeared at a piano to perform her 2002 hit, 8,000 Miles, bringing a smile to Drake's face. The lineup of performers leading up to Drake each night paid tribute to various musical styles, featuring talented R&B artists like Summer Walker and Sailor, Southern rap surrealism from Subabi, innovative British rappers Lancey Folks and Fimi Guerrero, South African Amapiano star Uncle Waffles, and Nigerian neo-traditionalists Burna Boy and Adamo Doublevk. While the weekend was filled with joy, Drake also aimed to project confidence. On the first night, he wore a bull riding vest that read, "Stay cocky." He also organized his own media coverage, sending a private jet to bring in popular live streamers and YouTubers like Aiden Ross, Bendadon, DDG, Los Palos, and Kyle Forgert of Nelk, who created continuous online content throughout the weekend. This was a smart media strategy, as their combined audience far surpassed that of the live crowd, allowing Drake to elevate the profiles of these well-known streamers, similar to how he had previously supported lesser-known regional rappers. In this setting, rivals like Lamar were mostly an afterthought or a subtle background theme. At one point on the second night, the crowd erupted in a crude chant directed at Lamar, spurred on by Ross. Drake noticed and puffed out his chest, responding, "Y'all thought y'all could knock the boy off for real?" Earlier this month, Drake hosted a 1-hour live stream on YouTube, where he drove an ICE delivery truck through Toronto to introduce his new single, the dark and intense "What Did I Miss?", which debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song is filled with disdain, adding to Drake's extensive repertoire of tracks that express contempt. He performed it only on the second night of the festival, while he showcased his lively party anthem, Nokia, each night. Released in February as part of Some Sexy Songs for You, a collaborative album with Party Next Door, Nokia is a vibrant electro-rap track that echoes his major hit, Hotline Bling. This performance aligned with the narrative he was conveying, particularly on the festival's third night, where he emphasized his talent for creating inclusive pop music. Tracks like Controlla, Find Your Love, and Work draw from various global music scenes that are often overlooked in mainstream culture. Drake's musical style encompasses a wide array of genres, including British drill, Jamaican dancehall, Nigerian Afrobeats, South African Amapiano, and Southern rap, reflecting a global perspective that goes beyond local trends. The world is vast and diverse. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on the story.